We're live. There we go. We're live now here at Fish North Georgia. It's time for the lunch break, guys. Glad you guys could join me today. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Yeah, October, what is it, 21st? Took my glasses off right here. Try not to get that reflection. Let me read. Yeah, it's the 21st. So hope everybody's doing well and that you guys, as you pop on, uh, will take part in the conversation today. You got, I think, a pretty interesting set of topics for today. I went into Chat GPT and typed in a question and wanted to see what they were saying. And we're going to see if you guys agree with them or not. I think I'm going to go ahead and put my glasses back on because I do have TikTok over there today and I can see that. So, again, hope everybody's doing well. Let's go ahead and take care of the business. What's up, Doug, Cam, Coleman? I got the banners going right now. You guys notice it on the bottom of the screen right there. So, we'll go ahead. You can see the Toys for Tots right there scrolling. December 6th out of Laurel Park, guaranteed 5K first place prize, $80 per team plus one unwrapped toy to help the Hall County and Pickens County Toys for Tots. Okay, and if you want to go ahead and get signed up, hit me up 678. I got to mess it up. It says 293. It's 283-6700. Leave it to Danny to put the wrong daggum number on the banner. But anyway, I'd love to get you guys signed up. A little announcement with that. Tim McGuire and I will be fishing together. I said, I think I'm about ready. I want to see how I sounded. I can take these headphones off and now I can just talk. Yeah, Tim McGuire and I are going to be fishing the Toys for Tots this year. So basically, we can do a little side pot if you guys want, whether you can beat Tim or me. I think that would be it. Can you guys beat me and Tim? I'm trying to get you guys signed up right there, just so you guys will come fish with us. We'll just see. We'll see. We might do a little side stuff. Fred, Jeff, Big Bait John. Hopefully tomorrow will work out, and I might be fishing with Big Bait John over on Hickory Log. So that might be some fun. But yeah, so Toys for Tots, guys, it's going to be a good one. I bet y'all a gas station hot dog for lunch. Listen, we can fish. Chandler Irwin, what's up, buddy? We can fish for a Dr. Pepper. I don't care. Silver Punk and I are at Lake Oconee. Both of us are wearing them out. Good for you, John. Making us all feel bad because we're stuck here and you are out there fishing. However, I tell you what, I walked outside this morning. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to go deer hunting so bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt it. My son's got a camera over on some property we get to hunt, and he's like, deer all over it. It's just the way it is sometimes. You have the best laid plans. What's up, Doc? How are you, buddy? But, the cool weather. And actually, I want to show you guys something, too. It's not much, but right there on the banner, there you go. There's your weather forecast. And hopefully I spelled everything right on that one right there. It's not much. It only gives me 200 letters. But for you guys that don't watch the news and you want to know what's going on, like Saturday, it's going to be 67, low of 54, cloudy, becoming sunny in the afternoon. So I thought that might be something pretty neat. I'm just playing with this StreamYard. The more I get to mess with it, I'm like, look at all this stuff. Now it's way over my head. Now tonight will be a little bit interesting because tonight we're going to have Tucker Smith on. That's right. Tucker Smith will be on the live well tonight with Alex and Clint and I. And of course, it's going to be boxed up. It's going to look different than our normal live well. But for the first time, guys, I'm going to be the one running basically the board. What's up, Gone Fishing with Ed? How you doing there, bud? I'm going to be running the board. And I've got to do all the switching while talking and everything. So it's going to be interesting. Now, long-term plans, talking with a fellow already about a little space to get the live well kind of back as is. And so that is being planned. But for now, you just got to get me in this view right here. So hopefully that's not too bad for you guys. But anyway, so again, let me get back on here to the comments. They're moving like crazy on this side of the state. Danny the Weatherman. Now, Coleman says, I let a monster 8 walk yesterday, 8 to 10 inch tines, 15 to 17 inch spread. Why? Why, Coleman? Why did you do that? Now, I tell you what, cool thing is, listen, cool thing is Doug Rice, you guys see him up there. He's already up there. 3 weeks, baby. 3 weeks, I think it is. That fella's taking me to Kentucky. Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to actually fishing that and seeing what's going on. Hunting that and seeing what's going on up there. He's sending me pictures all the time. I'm looking at him. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to be amazing. But anyways, I look forward to that. But yeah, the hunting here, as long as it stays cool like it is, I think they'll be moving. I had a 6-pointer in the backyard this morning. Oh man, I'll tell you what. Yesterday morning I wake up and I'm worried about getting all this stuff done and everything over here. And my son sends me pictures, and there's an 8-pointer sitting right there at the camera over there. And it's one of the places we get to hunt, courtesy of Atlanta Safe House. Guys, if you're in the market for a safe, a brand new gun safe, you like Kevin Thornton and your wife's got enough fancy purses, you got to buy her a purse safe. Whatever safe you're looking for, you can find it at Atlanta Safe House. And they just opened a new location down there by the Tackle Warehouse off McFarland Road. I haven't had a chance to go check it out yet. But courtesy of them, I get to fish. I get to hunt. Well, I'm going to get to fish a couple of different places too, but I get to hunt. Open a pool hall, Danny. I should open a pool hall. Lord knows the cops would be there every daggum night if we had a pool hall, right? It would be one of those things. And another thing I thought about too for the show is I got to come up with you guys a nickname. Taylor Swift has the Swifties. Duncan's got his low-lifers. I don't even know what Mercer calls his guys. What do we call you guys? We need to come up with you guys a nickname. I think that would be pretty cool. I think we need it. I think you guys deserve to have a nickname. What would you call yourselves? The Goers? I don't know. Danny and the Goers? We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, all right, let's get to the topic today. I was sitting here thinking about what the best bass lakes were in the nation. Because, Bassmaster always puts out the deceived. Bassmaster always puts out their list of the best lakes, according to them, every year. The FN Goers, Ed said, maybe we'll have to figure it out. Danny and the Fishettes. You guys, come on. You got to think better of yourselves. You got to think better of yourselves than that. But they put out their list, and I was like, well, I wonder, what does AI tell us? That if I put in one of the best lakes in the United States, for not only just bass in general, but for largemouth, spotted bass, smallmouth, what would it say? So, of course, I went to ChatGPT, and I got the answer. And so we're going to start off. We're going to do all three. And here's what we're going to talk about. We'll start off with largemouth. We'll start off with, then we'll go to smallmouth. Then we'll go to spotted bass. Okay. And once we get through with that, then it gives us the 10 best lakes all around combined. It only gives you like 4 or 5 in each specific category. And then when I do the 10 best, it gives me 10. So I want to see if you guys are even close to what ChatGPT says. And don't jump on ChatGPT right now and type it in. Be honest and see if you guys can figure it out yourself. So let's start off with, we'll go largemouth. Okay. And it's the top largemouth bass lakes for trophy and numbers in the United States. And it gives me 5. And I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes just to throw out a couple of lakes and see if any of the lakes that you're talking about are on ChatGPT's top 5. And so I've got it pulled up over there. I'll come back over there. Now, Dead Rabbit said Gunnersville. Everybody knew Gunnersville would be on that, right? But it's not number 1. Gunnersville is on the list, but not number 1. AI is probably going to have Lake Fork at number 1. It might. You guys, hey, listen, you're 2 for 2 so far. But again, there's 5. Gunnersville, Fork, Okeechobee, Chick. Well, let's just see. I'll give a couple more. Fork, Coleman says, Chick, Doug says. I'll give you guys a couple more chances to throw it out there. Fork or Clear Lake or OH Ivy. Some of you guys don't. Hey, listen, don't be ChatGPT in there, any of this stuff now. Don't be cheating. Okay. Let's give you ChatGPT's top 5 largemouth bass lakes according to trophies and numbers, and we'll go number 5. Okay, number 5. And listen, while you guys are commenting, I'm on another page, so I can't see you. All right. Coming in at number 5 is Lake Kissimmee, Toho chain in Florida. Here's the reason why it's elite. Classic Florida strain genetics. It's shallow, great vegetation. Average size is 4 to 6 pounds, and a 10 plus is possible any cast. The best time to fish it is winter and the spring spawn season. Okay. Now, did any of you guys had Lake Kissimmee on there? And I'm looking back over here. Sabine. Who said Sabine? You guys are crazy. Okay, but I see that. So none of you had that Marsh Stick Lake at Florida, Fred Ashcraft. You must personally like that lake. And guys, listen, on TikTok, you can jump in on this as well. I actually stole my wife's iPad instead of my phone. She has no idea that I'm using her iPad. But it's still a little smaller. We're going to get this figured out. I tried to download it on a computer today. It didn't work. So Lake Kissimmee is number 5. All right. Number 4, you guys, hey, listen. The next 4 lakes you guys all mentioned. Now we can argue about the order, okay? but you all mentioned that. So number 4 for ChatGPT, best largemouth bass lakes is Lake Gunnersville. Why it's top in the southeast. It's a famous TVA grass fishery. Average size fish, 3 to 5 pounds. Tons of 6 to 8 pound fish. Known for big pre-spawn bites, frogs, and grass flipping. So they had Gunnersville at number 4. Number 3, Clear Lake in California. Nutrient rich, massive forage base. Shad and hitch. Average size, 3 to 5 pounds with double digits common. It's known for its consistency. It produces big fish year round. So that was number 3. Number 2 is O.H. Ivy in Texas. Why it's special? It's the current share lunker capital of the U.S. Dozens of 13-plus pound bass caught yearly. It produces true 15 to 17-pound class fish regularly now. Danny, attach the tablet to a computer monitor, bigger screen. You can also do it with an Android. I'll have to figure that out. Gone fishing with Ed. You know how we are. We're working the best we can, and I'm trying to figure it all out on the fly, but we're getting there. Maybe I can do that tomorrow. Lake Fork, Texas is number 1. Why it's top tier? It's managed intensively by the Texas Park and Wildlife. The average size is 4 to 6 pounds. 10 plus is not rare. The state record is 18.818 pounds. Comes from there. It's known for giants and heavy tournament bags. So let me fly back over here again. Kissimmee, Gunnersville, Clear Lake, O.H. Ivy, Lake Fork. What do you guys think right there? Let me go back over here. Clear Lake, Big Bait John said that. Y'all have it all wrong. West Point Lake is number 1 in the nation for all species. You guys are crazy. All right, you're absolutely crazy. But it's interesting. It's interesting that that's how ChatGPT put it. And again, I expected Gunnersville. I expected Lake Fork, O.H. Ivy for sure. Clear Lake, I did not expect, nor did I expect Lake Kissimmee. I mean, did you guys anything out of the top 5? Those that you disagree with, you agree or disagree with? I'm just curious off the top of my head. You guys listening over there talking about Pickwick. Leanne Shaw said Pickwick wasn't on there. Now, again, everybody's got their favorites. This is totally up to ChatGPT. Fred says, surprised Toledo wasn't in the top 5. Yeah. I might have expected that more than I would have Lake Kissimmee, for sure. So, yeah, I definitely am going to have to keep my glasses on. I ain't going to be able to read that. I'll try. I know my son fussed at me yesterday. He goes, what camera are you using? And I was like, well, the computer one for right now. He goes, yeah, well, the glare's in your glasses. I'm like, I can only do what I can do. So that was a largemouth. Now, how many of you guys have actually fished other than Gunnersville? Because I know a lot of you guys have fished Gunnersville. How many of you guys have fished Lake Fork, O.H. Ivy, Clear Lake in California, or Kissimmee? And what did you think about that? I fished Gunnersville. I've never fished any of the other ones. Now, Big Bait John said he's confused, but he's not bad about the picks. Yeah, I mean, again, so ChatGPT scours the internet, right? The interwebs or whatever you want to say. It scours those, and it probably finds, all the information it can that, whether it's talked about, the latest articles, any of the, I'm sure what the podcasts say, and that's how it come up with this. But here's what's funny. You guys are going to, when we get down to the best all around, you guys are going to be kind of surprised with that one. So let me go back over to you guys. I would like to get out to California for the spots. Bullard Bar and Lake Shasta would be cool for sure. Not to know enough about the secret lakes. Yeah. Pool tournament, Danny. We might can do that. What's up, Phase Fishing? How you doing, buddy? We might can do a pool tournament. I'm going to suck. My dad was a hustler, though. I remember my dad won my mom a car, a boat, and again, back in the 70s, he hustled pool. He came home, I want to say, with a 77 Gran Torino. I'm going way back, but it was like green as hell. It was like this mint green Gran Torino with a bucket. I mean, not bucket, the bench seat in the front that was like that green fox leather, the fake stuff. And I remember that car. I think that was one of the ones that he won playing pool. But I do know that Miss Grimes, the bus driver, hit it in the Midway parking lot, elementary school parking lot back in the day. That's how I remember that car. Thought it was the ugliest thing in the world back then. I would love to have had it now. Ain't no telling what that thing be worth now. Now, Jeff Brazil said, I've fished Fork many times. I like it. Everything there looks good. You have to run the marked boat lanes or you could quickly have a very bad day. That's a lot of lakes like that once you get out of Georgia. Gone Fishing with Ed. What kind of phone is it you use for TikTok on a regular basis for your podcast? Now, see, we had a different camera over there at the shop. We had a camera that was designed specifically for TikTok, and I'm gonna have to get me another one of those as we kind of rebuild here. Right now, I got an old iPhone. It's got a push button on it, Ed. I mean, it's old, definitely old. So anyway, yeah, there are a lot of lakes. We don't have that problem on Lake Lanier, but I did notice when I drove over Lake Lanier the other day, I did not realize how far down it was. Lake Lanier is down a good bit. And you would think that we'd be on top of that, but of course, we're not. We're always here talking. But I was really shocked at how low Lake Lanier is. I know Allatoona getting dropped, the TVA lakes are getting dropped. Well, Lanier is way, way down. And I don't know how many feet, but I know there's a lot of stuff, a lot of bank. I even saw some of the reef markers out of the water when I went over Highway 53 headed towards Gainesville. This was on Sunday. And I just kind of looked out and I noticed that some of the reef poles, actually, you could see the rocks and everything. Yeah. Alex says it's crazy low. And I remember somebody saying they were going to lower it for some reason, and I can't remember. Tuna is down tremendously between the pull down and the lack of rain. Yeah. Well, tuna, we know, right? Tuna, we know it's going to happen. Now, John said, oh, good Lord. John said, it's low fish the tournament Saturday there. Was very surprised how exposed most of my spots were. Let me make sure. Let me go ahead and click off that right there. Hoping to go Lanier on Saturday. Yeah. Well, I've got a it's usually down when it gets cold. No, not Lanier's not. Lanier, not like it is now. Now the other lakes we're talking about, absolutely. Tuna drops down 17 feet. And that is an every year thing. Just if you fish Lake Allatoona, you know that's coming. And of course, if you're on Notley, everybody knows Notley gets pulled down. It's crazy. Like if you're going up 575 and you cross over the river in the summertime, you see this little river going into Notley and everything's good. You go there in December or January and it's like a creek going through there. And we all know going out Highway 20 what looks like Allatoona, where I forget the name of the ramp right there. But it's basically the Etowah River right there before it gets in there. And then when they lower it down, it's just a big mud flat for as far as you could see. Really terrible looking. But anyway, okay, let's go back to that. So now that's the largemouth bass. Now, some of you northern boys are going to have to help out with this one because us southern boys don't know. Smallmouth bass lakes. It gives 4, okay? And I got a feeling 2 of them you guys are going to nail right off the top. Knox Bridge, Critter Bug Customs. That's right, Knox Bridge. Thank you very much. I just know in the wintertime it gets absolutely just dreadful looking when they pull it down. I wouldn't even walk across it. There's no way I think you could walk across it without marring up to your knees or your waist. But let's go to the smallmouth bass lake. So according to ChatGPT, what are the top 4 smallmouth bass lakes in the United States? Gone Fishing with Ed. Carter's. Nope. Carter's is not on the list. Let's hop back over and see if you got any guesses. Now, Jeff Brazil says St. Lawrence, of course, is number 1. Cam says Lanier. Smallmouth, Cam. Smallmouth. Think about this. Smallmouth. There ain't no smallmouth in Lake Lanier. Or if there is, there's maybe 1 or 2. That would be a unicorn. Coleman says Dale Hollow and St. Lawrence. Jeff Brazil says St. Lawrence. And, those are names that kind of figured would pop out, right? Malice Lake, Fred Ashcraft said. Hadn't heard of that one. Cam said, I thought you said spots. It's probably the Copenhagen made you, think something. St. Clair should be on the list. Lake St. Clair, Faye's Fishing said. Well, let's get to it. Let's see what ChatGPT says right here. And we'll go number 4 to number 1. Now, coming in at number 4, Dale Hollow, Tennessee, Kentucky. Its claim to fame is the world record smallmouth, 11 pounds, 15 ounces. Still produces 6 to 8 pound class fish regularly. And it's a classic fishery, clear, rocky, deep highland reservoir. That's number 4, according to ChatGPT. Now, coming in at number 3 is Lake Sinclair. And why it's consistent? Massive population density. Average size, 3 to 5 pounds, huge numbers, and it's easily accessed and tournament-friendly layout. That's number 3, Lake Sinclair. Now, this one I didn't think of. Now, those, Dale Hollow I really didn't think of, but I knew it was in the mix. Like, Sinclair we all knew was going to be on there. But number 2, Lake Erie, especially the eastern basin. Why it's strong. It's deep, cold, full of gobies. Average size smallmouth, 4 to 6 pounds, known for its quantity and quality, endless 4 pound smallmouth. Lake Erie, and when I click back over here in a second to the comments, you guys tell me if Lake Erie even crossed your mind. But number one, according to ChatGPT, for the number one smallmouth bass lake in the United States is, of course, the St. Lawrence River. Why it's number one? It's a smallmouth mecca. 6 to 7 pound fish are common. Tournaments dominates the Bassmaster Elite stats for the biggest average bags, and it's known for clear water and goby-fed giants. So let's scroll back over to you guys and see what you guys said over here. Again, I see Lake Sinclair. Alex says probably all of the Great Lakes. Very easy to say that one, right? You can just cover them all. Cayuga, any of the upper Mississippi, Bryant West said. And Sandusky area of Erie is legendary. Okay, so there you go. Now, had you said Sandusky, I probably would have recognized that more than just thinking of Lake Erie as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Now, Lake Sinclair is going to be lowered on October 25th. They really lower it every 5 years, won't fill back up until December 1st. Are they doing any work out there, John G? What's the reason for them lowering it? So, again, there you go. That's and smallmouth, the bad thing is that here in Georgia, we don't get to talk about smallmouth near as much as, the other places, right? Anytime we think smallmouth, we got to look elsewhere. Now, Blue Ridge had some smallmouth. It used to be really fun to go fish. There's still a few pure strain smallmouth in there, but a lot of them, the spotted bass, have really taken over, and of course, they've hybridized. And so, we don't really have a pure smallmouth lake that we can go target. Now, there are some smallmouth in some of the rivers up here that you absolutely can go do. But to be able to go, like if anybody, would say, hey, Danny, where can I go catch smallmouth? I'm sending them to Tennessee, right? I miss smallmouth fishing coming from Ohio. I bet you do. Cam wants to go up north to get some smallmouth for sure. We got some pretty good smallmouth fishing at Pickwick still. Yeah. And I caught, so we were in Chattanooga. We were on the back of Chick Dam, and I caught some. And Kendra's here. What's up? I'm lucky I'm near so many great smallmouth fisheries: St. Clair, Erie, Detroit River, Huron. She's from Michigan. And Kendra, glad you're here. Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing. But if we could turn around and flip that, like when we go to the next thing about spotted bass, we're going to get to dominate that conversation much more so than somebody from Michigan, and probably a good thing. You guys don't want to lose your smallmouth up there. There's plenty of smallmouth in South Carolina, North Carolina. Yeah, for sure. It seems like they're everywhere but Georgia. Now, Diaz says, I've never caught a smallmouth, need to make a trip. They're pretty cool. I tell you, back in the day, I'd go up to Blue Ridge, and we're talking in the 90s, and I would, honest to God, it was very simple. I would just put it on a Zoom single-tail grub, white grub, and just chunk it out there and slow roll it. That's all I ever had to do to catch smallmouth up on Blue Ridge. Now it's a totally different thing. Okay, John G says Sinclair's going down. So, and I think somebody else said that, Coleman. Yeah. Dock maintenance, seawall maintenance, etc. And they need to do that. Keep them in good shape, right? So again, there you go. Smallmouth, number 4, Dale Hollow. Number 3, Lake Sinclair. Number 2, Lake Erie. Number 1, the St. Lawrence River, according to ChatGPT. Now let's get into our neck of the woods. And this is going to kind of be a tale of two areas, right? When it comes to spotted bass lakes. Okay, so it gives the top 4, again, ChatGPT, the top 4 spotted bass lakes in the nation. And I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to throw out your guesses. I believe I'd rather catch a big old spot than a smallmouth. I swear them spots are meaner. I agree with that. I think they are meaner. Hartwell has some smallmouths. I caught my only smallmouth there. I didn't know that, Doug. Well, you know my guess for spots. Go ahead and throw it out there. What's your guess? You get 4 choices. Now, Fred Ashcraft says Lake Lanier and the Coosa River. Coleman says Hartwell, Lanier, Smith Lake. Brazil says Hartwell, Lanier, Smith Lake. Brian Farrell says Castaic in California. I hope I say that right. Castaic. Lanier, Clear Lake, and Shasta, or whatever it's called out there. So we're noticing a trend, right? We're either going to Cali or we're in the Southeast United States. Fair to say. Hopefully Lanier made the list. Well, if it was Bassmaster Magazine, it wouldn't be in the top 4. I don't think Lanier made the top 4 according to Bassmaster. I have to go back and look. Brian West says Jordan and Mitchell. Okay, there's a couple of contenders out there that I wasn't aware of. Let's pull it up. All right, let's pull it up. Let me get back up here. All right, here we go. Top spotted bass lakes in the nation, according to ChatGPT. Coming in at number 4, Smith Lake in Alabama. And you guys listen, hey, if you don't agree with any of these things, throw it in the comments. I want to know what you think about them. You don't necessarily have to go, okay, ChatGPT's right. It could be totally wrong. But for number 4, Smith Lake in Alabama. Why it's strong? It's deep, it's clear, it's loaded with baits. Tournament favorites, heavyweights for spotted bass events. Now, this one I kind of, just going by what people talk about, I know people can go out there and catch numbers, but I really am spoiled by Lake Lanier and the weights for spotted bass. And I don't hear of those weights coming out. Let me see if any of you guys said anything like that. Bullard's Bar in California should be on the list. Government shut down, they're draining all the lakes. No, not quite. Not quite. But number 4 was Smith Lake. Now, number 3, we're going to head out to Cali. We're going to Lake Shasta. Why it's productive. It's got a massive spotted bass population. The average size is 1.5 pounds to 3 pounds with some 5 to 7 pound fish. Lake Shasta, California. And some of you guys out there, I believe, you guys said Shasta. Who said Shasta? I could have swore. Yeah, Alex Purr says Shasta. I saw Shasta on your guys' list. Here goes number 2. According to ChatGPT, number 2, top spotted bass lake in the nation, Bullard's Bar, California. Why it's historic? It once held the world record for spotted bass at 10 plus pound. It's known for deep water spotted bass specialists. That's what it says. Bullard's Bar. Now, I can't remember. I wish Jason Johnson was on here. I had talked to him recently. And I forget the name of the angler he was with. It'll come to me in a little bit. But they went out and they had those 5 spotted bass for over 40 pounds. And it was from one of those lakes out there in California. Just to see them holding up. Man, I wish I could remember the name of the pro. Like I said, it'll pop in my mind the second we go to something else. Well, Jason Johnson and that guy just holding them. And it's like, it's monsters. But I can't remember exactly which one it was. And let me get back over here, click in. Okay, you guys were caught up. So, all right, so here's number 1. What do you guys think is number 1 spotted bass lake in the United States, according to ChatGPT? That's right, our home lake right here, Lake Lanier. And here's why it's elite. Blueback herring equals big spots. For sure. Average size 2 to 4 pounds with 5 and 6 pound spots common. It's known for its top water schooling action and precision finesse fishing. So according to ChatGPT, Lake Lanier here in Georgia, number 1 for spotted bass. And I don't know that too many of us, Cody Meyer, Bryant West, that's that. Yeah, I don't know that too many of us could argue that. We couldn't. Just imagine a fight a spot of that size puts off. I'm telling you. But yeah, Brian West is right. It was Jason Johnson and Cody Meyer went out there. And dude, I'm just telling you, I'll find that picture. I know Jason's got it somewhere on his Facebook page. I'll find that picture. Jeff Brazil, that's why I want to come to Lake Lanier. Well, listen, Lake Lanier, but it's also one of two things. There are guys that fish it all the time, and they'll tell you it's the best spotted bass lake in the nation. They'll agree with you. And there are other people like, I can't figure out Lake Lanier. And generally, I find that those people are the ones that come from shallow water lakes. Guys from Florida coming up. Because, in Lanier, yeah, you can catch them shallow and all that, but the deep finesse game is big. The top water game is amazing. When it's on, we haven't had the top water bite like we've had in a while. But you start watching the weights on the tournaments here on Lake Lanier going into November, December, and all that. Now, right now, it's still, listen, on some of the tournaments, if you ain't bringing in 20, and we're talking mostly spotted bass with the occasional largemouth kicked in, if you ain't bringing in 20, you ain't getting a check. Not going to happen. But watch the weights starting in, you can say mid to late November. around Thanksgiving, December, January, if Lake Lanier is on, all the way up into the spawn, it's going to get absolutely ridiculous. I remember at the Toys for Tots last year, I forget what Charlie Adams, what his winning weight was. I know he had the 7+ pound largemouth kicked in with that bag, but from first place to 30th was less than 3 pounds. And we had 98 boats. First place to 30th. And it was like, it was crazy. And the spotted bass on Lanier are just ridiculous. And the thing about it is they get hammered and they just still keep producing, right? Keeps on over and over and over again. Now, Cam says we're planning on making a trip up to Lanier next spring to get off these tuna 2-pounders for a day. Well, listen, Allatoona, now that it's got the bluebacks, don't sleep on Allatoona. I don't think it'll ever be like Lanier. It's just not built the way Lanier is. But the spotted bass on Allatoona are really, we're looking at the tournament weights. Plus, on Allatoona, you got a lot more really kicker largemouth. So Allatoona is like, you don't want to sleep with this. Skeet wants to know, are the majority of the fish you catch on Lanier all spots, or is a largemouth bite still pretty frequent? Depends on where you fish, Skeet. Now, if you're up on northern, a lot of guys will go largemouth specific, right? And they'll go back into the pockets and the creeks and up the rivers where largemouth should be. And you absolutely can go there and catch largemouth. A lot of guys are noticing, though, you're starting to find largemouth out with the spotted bass on the big water, being pelagic, so to speak, right? Ain't that the fancy word they use for them? And so you're starting to see guys catch a lot of largemouth out over the humps, out over the timber, doing the things that, guys normally do for spotted bass. So I would say the majority of the fish you're going to catch are spots, but definitely it's coming around. The largemouth are making a comeback on Lanier. Deshaun is catching hog spots on Allatoona. Now, Messick says, I know this is off topic, Danny. I completely understand why you don't like a whopper plopper. I had a buzzbait tied on for me and a plopper from my grandpa. And tell me how that ended up. Listen, a whopper plopper catches fish, guys. There's no doubt it catches fish. And I needless to say, he had a fluke on within 30 minutes. Okay. Guys that like the plopper love the plopper. And it catches fish. And I think the river guys really do well with it as well. But just me personally, I like a buzzbait. And that's just me. And I'm not KVD, so it doesn't matter. Just that's what I grew up throwing. I just don't, and to be honest, I always had a problem with the hookups on a plopper. Even if I did get something to bite it, I just never had great hookup success. But anyway, all right, Lake Lanier, number one. Now, here's what it did, though. Here's some honorable mentions, okay? And this is mixed species, consistent quality. It gives 5 lakes that are honorable mention. Lake Murray, South Carolina, clearwater spotted bass, largemouth mix with a thriving population. Eufaula in Alabama, classic southern grass lake, a resurging fishery. Chickamauga, famed for its double-digit largemouth, some record-class fish. Pickwick in Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, all that. Largemouth, smallmouth, and spots, all solid. And then Sam Rayburn, great all-around fishery, consistent 20-pound tournament bags. A more moderate rod will help on the hookups with the ploppers. Probably. You're probably right. But gone fishing with that, it also just annoys me, that damn noise it makes. Noise the hell out of me. But you're probably right. And I'm not the best. I'm a guy that likes to use one rod for 10 different things, right? I should be more specific. But now let's do this. So it asked me a question. Would you like me to rank the top 10 lakes overall, all species combined for 2025, including tournament data and average bass weights? That gives you a clearer picture of where to target for trophy fishing or content creation, okay? And I said, yeah. And so here's what it said. Perfect. Here are the 2025 ranking of the top 10 bass lakes in the United States, all species combined, based upon tournament results, which is Bassmaster, MLF, and MPFL, catch records, biologist reports from the last 3 years. This list weighs trophy potential. This is how it breaks down this list, okay, guys? Like, if what makes up is decision making. Well, 40% is the trophy potential of a lake. 30% is the consistency and quantity. The diversity of bass species factors in 20%, and angler accessibility 10%. Okay, so trophy potential, consistency, quantity, diversity of bass species, and angler accessibility. And that's how ChatGPT figured it out. So we'll start with number 10. Actually, let me give you some honorable mentions first. We'll do that. So in case you think, I'm gonna double check my comments here. Murray doesn't have spots in it. Let's see. Scratch Fishing said you will find lips under marina seawall suspended in 100 feet of water on Lanier. That is true. Harrington says, I think the more variety of bait fish, the better the fishery. I've yet to see a lake get hurt from herring being introduced like they said it would. We've talked about that before, and you're probably right. That screaming Chapo sounds like a rusted bearing coming through the water for sure. Need a jitterbuzz. Okay, there we go. Caught up on the comments. So here we go. Here's your honorable mentions, Chat GPT. Best all-around lakes. Bullard's Bar, home of record class spotted bass. Lake Murray, blowing up with giant blueback herring bass. Bull Shoals in Arkansas, Missouri, excellent mixed bag fishery. Dale Hollow, historical smallmouth trophy lake. Lake Eufaula, resurgent fishery with big pre-spawn bass. Now, those were honorable mentions of the top lakes for 2025. And so here we go. We're going to start off with number 10. What's up, Georgia? How you doing, hon? Number 10, best lakes in the United States, according to ChatGPT, Lake St. Clair. Its dominant species is smallmouth, and why it rounds out the list. It's got an incredible population density. 3 to 5 pound fish every day, double-digit numbers possible. It's a fun, accessible, and extremely healthy ecosystem. And the bonus, it's a great place for first-timers or pros to crush 100-plus smallmouth in a day. Now, could you imagine catching 100 smallmouth in a day? No matter where you're at, 100 smallmouth. I think that would be pretty awesome. Number 9 of the best lakes in the United States, Sam Rayburn Reservoir in Texas. The dominant species is a largemouth. Why it's reliable? It's Texas' most consistent tournament fishery. 25-plus pound bags common, big population density. It's got a great balance of quality and numbers, and it's known for its offshore brush, hydrilla, and year-round catchability. So there we go. We got a Texas lake in there. You're going to see some of these lakes we've talked about already before, right? Coming in at number 8 is Lake Erie. Again, smallmouth fishery. It's got intense numbers and size, 4 to 6 pounds fish, heavy bags in any section. It is windy, but it's rewarding. You can fish shallow flats or deep humps depending on the season. So a lot of things you can do right there, right? Coming in at number 7, Chickamauga, which is kind of interesting because it, when it goes to the other ones, I think it just, let me scroll back up. It wasn't in the top 4 or 5 on anything, but when you factor in everything, Chickamauga comes in at number 7. The dominant species is largemouth, why it's on fire, trophy genetics plus river current plus vegetation. It's got numerous 10 to 12 pound fish in the past few years, high tournament weights, and strong recruitment. It's known for spring giants and offshore ledge fishing in the summer. So there you go. So you guys that like Chick, you guys got something right there. Kirk says he grew up on Lake Erie. It's an amazing place. I would love to fish it. Lake Erie will get you to those rollers are no joke. It's crazy when you watch some of the pros get up there on them northern lakes and you see the camera and it's up, they're on top of it. And when they go down between the waves, all you see is like the angler's head, right? It's crazy. I think so anyway. All right, coming in at number 6 of the best lakes in the United States, Lake Lanier. Dominant species, spotted bass, of course. It's the ultimate. That's what it says. It's the ultimate spotted bass fishery. Again, 4 to 5 pound spots are everyday catches, 6 plus not rare. Blueback herring keep fish chasing and growing. Bonus, and we talked about this. Somebody asked this question a second ago. The largemouth population is increasing again. So even Chat GPT has picked up on the fact that Lake Lanier's largemouth are making a comeback. It is ideal for forward-facing sonar and finesse swim bait. So our buddy Cranking and Yanking is not going to want to come fish Lanier unless he can throw a crankbait up shallow. Number 5, Clear Lake, California. Dominant species, largemouth. I didn't know this. It's the oldest natural lake in North America. Did you guys know that? Clear Lake is the oldest natural lake in North America. Plus, it has insane forage. I didn't know that. 30-plus pound tournament limits are still routine. Year-round bite due to stable climate, and it's unique. West Coast big bait heaven. Swim baits and jigs rule here. So you guys like to throw like Big John Sarah over there. You guys would love that lake right there. Let's see. Tyler's back. I know the guys that kayak fish on Erie. That's a no for me. No way in the world would I do that. Let's go ahead and hit the top 4 right here. Coming in at number 4 is Gunnersville. Largemouth, giant grass mats, TVA current, endless forage, massive population of 3 to 6 pound bass. It's a peak frog and trap lake every spring and fall. Great balance of numbers and size, and a bucket list fishery for every angler. Number 3, Lake Fork, Texas. Largemouth. Decades of stocking, habitat management, 5 to 7 pound fish are standard. Double digits common, produces giant bags in local events. Shallow power fishing in the spring, offshore structure in the summer. Number 2, O.H. Ivy in Texas. So Texas got 2 out of the top 3. Largemouth. It's the modern big bass capital of the world. Creative Crouton says, well, everything is bigger in Texas. That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me. I don't know. Maybe for sure. Over 20 share lunkers in the 24-25 seasons have come out of O.H. Ivy. Multiple 15 to 17 pound fish landed on forward facing sonar, offshore structure, and live sonar targeting individual giants. The best time is winter to early spring. And the number 1 bass lake in America, according to ChatGPT, the St. Lawrence River. Dominant species of smallmouth, but every major tournament recorded record the past 3 years here. Listen, let me read that again. This is what it says. Why it's number 1. Every major tournament record the past 3 years points here. Okay. 4-day Elite Series weights near 100 pounds of smallmouth, constant 6 to 7 pound fish, some pushing 8. Clear water, heavy current, goby fed monsters. The bonus is it's easy for both pros and locals. You can catch 20 pounds a day. So St. Lawrence River is the number one lake, according to ChatGPT, in the nation. What do you guys think of that list? Is there a lake that's missing that you would put on there? Because I know that, I'm partial to Lanier. I get it for the spotted bass, but I've never fished any of those lakes, so I have no idea. Fair enough, St. Lawrence has massive smallmouth in a lot of them. Of all the lakes that I've listed and that we've talked about, Brian Farrell says, I'm from Cali. I live in Cali, and Clear Lake is still 10 hours away from me. California is a big state. Absolutely. But Brian, have you fished it? And you may have said that, and I might have missed it in the comment section. I'm just curious how, if the spotted bass out there and the spotted bass we got in Lanier, how they would compare. You know what I'm saying? I know when I had Henry Cowan on back on one of the first podcasts we ever did, he was talking about if you took a spotted bass from Lake Lanier and a spotted bass from Lake Allatoona, and he was calling them the Coosa bass, Coosa spots is what he called them. And they were the equal size. Let's just say they were both 5 pounds. And you put them and you tied their tails together. That the spotted bass from Lake Allatoona, that Coosa spot, would pull the Lake Lanier spot all over the place. That's what Henry Cowan said. I mean, we got it. We got it right there. I got it on record that he said that. And I always found that kind of interesting. People forget the St. Lawrence also has donkey-sized largemouth too. Donkey size. I like that. Brian says he's trying to plan a trip. I can get across the entire state of Georgia in 10 hours, pretty much. Maybe even a little bit less. I can imagine California, that's still a 10-hour drive from you. Now, is that with traffic? Maybe you're factoring in traffic, or is that a total distance kind of thing? Now, Tyler says, I think they're all Alabama bass out there. They eat threadfin and kokanee. Here they obviously eat threadfin and blueback. Lanier spots are also Alabama bass, a.k.a. Coosa River spots. Listen, and that I just remember Henry saying that. I remember him saying that. I've never really gone into try to figure out the biology behind it, but I do remember him saying that. Now, Seminole and Eufaula are great. They are. We got a lot of great lakes. There's no doubt about that. Hey, you know what? Where was it at, too? I saw something yesterday, guys. Listen to this. In fact, I think I wrote it down. I want you guys to listen to this because this popped into, I don't know how it popped into my feed, but I remember writing this down. I know this is a little bit off topic, but I want you guys to hear this because this is funny as hell to me. Lanier spots are hands down meaner, Tyler said. Doug Rice says, not sure if that's true. I've caught big spots on Lanier and tuna. Lanier spots are meaner. And Brian says the total distance, that's 10 hours. I'm going from the bottom of the state of California to the top. Brian, where do you live in California again? What part? Now, you guys did not have this on your bingo card today. I'm 100% positive. Okay? 100% positive. But this is the kind of crap that just made me go, huh. And I'll get back on these. Did you know that in the state of Montana, it is illegal to fish with a rope wrangler, which is AKA a lasso? Did you know that it's illegal to fish with a lasso in Montana? Now, my question is, why in the hell do they even need this law? So apparently, people were actually trying to do that. Rusty Hicks Four says Allatoona or Lanier, and Eugene Ponte Corvo says Alabama spots are like bluefish, can't get away from them. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I get that 100%. Makes a lot of sense. But he's in Bakersfield. Okay. But did you know that in Montana it is illegal to lasso fish? Montana Code 87 6 501 prohibits it. The use of a lasso can injure or kill fish, disrupt their habitats, and it's not a sustainable method of fishing. I mean, is that not the most cowboy shit you guys have ever heard? Probably like alligator guard and stuff like that would be my guess. And I'm thinking, okay, but I've been to Montana. I guess it could be in the lakes and all that, but you're not lassoing fish in the Madison River. But at some point, listen, I want to see that lasso tournament for sure. At some point, somebody's up there, hell yeah, look at that fish right there, boys. And they're trying to lasso it. And I'm sitting there thinking, my mind, you guys know how I am. I'm sitting there going like, what in the world? Chuck Norris could lasso a fish with dental floss, 100%. Hard to lasso a fish while on a horse. Luke Pinnell, different scenery today. Yeah, Luke, it's a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit different for a while. There's always a first for everything, right? At some point, some cowboy was like, I can get that fish. Now, let's see what you got. Hunting. What about deer hunting with a lasso? We ain't trying that. Let me hit these things. You ever fish for ligma? No. Hell, I don't even know what that is. You can go from Ringo to St. Mary's in about 7 hours. Let's see. Just check Google AI for the top 10 spotted bass lakes in the country. Lake Lanier was number 1. There you go. So that's what ChatGPT said. So, maybe they're right. Bed fishing in South Carolina just got fun. Yeah, I mean, seriously, lassoing fish. There's always a first for everything, right? Somebody did it. I would like to see that. Now, Tyler, back to the this question. You guys listen to this. I also have a theory on why bass target shad and such in the fall. They have more fat than bluegill and crawfish, better for bulking up for warmth in cold water. Now that is Tyler's theory that the shad are I guess a better protein source, more fat than bluegill or crawfish. I don't know that answer. And it's a theory. We all got our theories, right? Sounds like a merch idea. Lasso fishing t-shirts. We should do that. We should do that for sure. Let's see. Aquatic biologist said there's also a high mortality rate for young spotted bass on there, and that's why they grow so big, because there's not as much competition. Listen, I don't agree with Shan on a lot of things. I don't know if he's right or wrong on that. I don't know. There's a lot of things he says that I agree with 100%. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Must have been a slow day in the Montana legislature. Guys, there was a bunch of them. I just got to looking crazy laws. Must have been a TikTok comment. No, it was, I forget what it was. But like, there's a place in New Jersey, because I pissed off all the people in New Jersey when I made fun of them having a, not pumping their own gas. You should see the comments on that TikTok. They're still commenting on it because we're elite, because we don't want to pump our own gas. Who pumps their own gas? Why would we do that? We're creating jobs. La di la da. Listen, they got some laws in some of their towns in New Jersey, like it's illegal to eat a pickle on a Sunday. There is a law in a town in New Jersey that says it is illegal for a bird to defecate on a statue. Now, how the hell do you enforce that? How do you enforce and tell the birds what you're doing is illegal, dude? People are just dumb. Why are your taxpayer dollars going to passing laws like that? Now, granted, I know some of them are old. There's a law in California that says you can't walk your elephant down the middle of the street without a not a harness, whatever the hell you put on a collar, dog, whatever whatever the hell you put on your dog when you walk it. You can't walk your elephant without a harness. Pigeon season, yeah. Danny still needs to eat a herring. Again, listen, we can do that. I'm a little bit closer now to Hammonds. If you bring it, I'll do it right here. But who the hell passes laws like that? What is it? I mean, who? First of all, who has an elephant leash? Yes, I couldn't think of a leash. You can't walk your elephant without a leash. There's some crazy laws in this world. And Jack says it too on TikTok. A leash. Sometimes my brain, listen, my brain. This is what my doctor says is like a TV with 100 channels, and I'm trying to watch all of them at the same time. It just doesn't work sometimes. But the one that got me though was you can't eat pickles on a Sunday, and that's New Jersey, and you can't. It's illegal for a bird to defecate on a statue. Now, seriously, like somebody has to go up to whether it's a city council or your state legislature, whatever, and we'd like to pass an ordinance. Okay, what you got there, Bob? Well, I'm tired of the birds pooping on the statues. We need to pass an ordinance making it illegal for birds to do that. All in favor, say aye. It'd be like a Baptist church thing. Everybody goes aye. Those opposed, of course, there'd be nobody opposed. It passes. Okay, well now you got an ordinance. How the hell? What do you do with that? What are you doing with that? Come on, New Jersey. What are you doing with that? Don't leave nothing in my mailbox for sure. No saddles on carp. Shad are way easier to eat too. Bluegill and crawfish are like 92% protein. I don't remember what the difference was between shad, but I know they had more fat compared to protein. Here's what I would say though, Tyler. Do fish spend more energy trying to catch shad than they do crawfish or bluegill? So while you may be 100% right, is the effort put in to chasing blueback heron all over the place worth it to the fish compared to chasing bluegill and crawfish? And again, I don't know. And you might be 100% right. But I would say this, we talked about it on the live well last year. Guys are catching spotted bass on Lake Lanier down deep in deep brush piles and in the timber. And when they're pulling them up, what are they throwing up in the live well? Bluegill, crawfish, and bluegill. So I think it just depends. I think you might be right as far as the breakdown on all that, but I also think it depends on the fish and where they're at too, and what's around them. Because what's up, Colin? I know me. If I got a steak in front of me, or let's just say a hamburger, and it's right in front of me, or I got to run and try to catch a filet mignon going down the road, I'm gonna eat that hamburger. We know what's gonna taste better, but I'm gonna eat the hamburger. They definitely spend more energy for sure. I'm just repeating what I hear. No, true. That's probably why they're chasing heron 24/7, needing a constant meal. And they're doing a really good job as fat as they are, right? I mean, there's some fat fish out there. Herring have a high acid content. I did not know that. How can I become a public defender for the birds? Sounds more useful than someone pumping your gas. It's the New Jersey people, guys. I don't know. Sometimes laws are made just to pump up the lawmakers' productivity for campaign numbers. Well, how the hell do you campaign on that, guys? Could you see the commercial? Hey, I'm Charlie Bryant, and I'm running for district commissioner number 5. I was the fellow that passed the law that said birds cannot poop on statues, and we know that that's been helpful for our community. I'd be like, fool, I ain't voting for you. The gas station attendants watch for birds crapping on statues on their days off. You guys really need to go back and read the comment section on that. I know Kendra says, Miss Michigan says, I know here the shad move to the river to spawn and then die for a super easy meal. When we have our shad spawns here on Lake Lanier and all that, trust me, they get on through a blow through or something like that, and they get crushed. But there's so many of them. There's just so many of them that they can stand to lose for sure. I can say from experience, I believe those fish that are on herring are way stronger than the ones chasing bluegills and crawfish. Maybe they've built muscles by chasing. I don't know. Have you ever looked at a spotted bass caught out of a river system compared to a spotted bass caught out of a lake? Even if they're Coosa bass, or however you want to say it, and you catch one out of the Coosa River compared to one out of Lake Lanier, the Lake Laniers are going to be a little shorter and they're going to be like a football, and the ones in the current are going to be longer and thinner. I mean, you could take a 5-pound spot out of the Coosa and a 5-pound spot out of Lake Lanier, hold them up right there. They're going to look like two different fish. Could be the same species, but they're going to look totally different. I know blueback herring do not, from what I remember. Yeah, bluebacks are always moving. They did a study and found that large wood structures helped with the weight of bass because it made the success rate of catching food easier because of their ambush. And at the end of the day, all black bass species are ambush predators, right? So it's pretty, it's all these things are interesting. And that's the cool thing about when we get together and talk is like, we don't know, right? We just know that when we go to the water, they eat this, they eat that. They look great here. This lake sucks. This lake's fantastic. Hey, right now they're on docks. Now they're on, we just kind of figured out and we go with the flow and we let the fishing dictate what we're doing. But it's always interesting to think about it. But Tyler, you could be 100% right on everything that you're saying. Everything. Yeah, Jeremiah, where you been, buddy? Where you been? I am at the house. Kendra said they do not die when they spawn. No, I don't think they die off. Now we do have shad kills down here when it gets really cold, and everybody's been wanting like a big shad kill. We talked about it last year. Like everybody would love to have a big shad kill because again, like you said, easy pickings, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't always get cold enough down here in the south for that to happen. I mean, you might get a small shad kill here and there, but like a major one across the lake, I can't even remember in the last 6 years of talking here at Fish North Georgia, the last time we had like a monster shad kill. A monster shad kill. So, you never know with that. Now, Tyler, listen, it doesn't matter whether you're right or not. Okay? You guys hear my phone vibrating? It doesn't matter. You guys on TikTok might hear it because the actual iPad is sitting on my phone, kind of leveling it out. So I apologize for that if you hear it buzzing. You should have the record Hartwell and Russell Striper guy on, Terry M. Listen, I will. That's one thing I'm getting ready to do. From being at the house, I'm getting ready to start having people on during the day. We'll do our lives every day at lunch. And then like tonight and on Thursday, we'll still do the live wells. But I'm going to start having guys in and start recording 30-minute how-to podcasts. And I'm going to try to introduce you guys to I want to absolutely just layer the page with all different kinds of anglers so you guys can just pick what you like. If you like catfish, I'm going to have catfish guys on. If you like striper, I'm going to have striper guys. Sounds like an old school dot matrix printer. I'm sorry for that, guys. I didn't even think about that when I was like, I need to kind of set it up on something because I stole my wife's iPad to do this. She doesn't know it. I got to log out real quick and get it back over there beside the bed. And she's like, what have you been doing on my iPad? Like, hell, it is what it is. Kyle T, best bank fisherman section. Yes. I mean, Jeremiah would be great. Would be great at that. We know a lot of guys. All good just took me back. Let's see. Steven Sturgeon. Then they can claim that they have been. Oh, he's talking about the politicians. Hey, no, Kyle T, we can do that, though. We can do whatever. He's talking about politicians and dumb laws. Then they can claim they've been productive by the number of laws they have introduced. Doesn't really matter what the laws were. The number of votes on bills is what the public sees. Yeah. But I mean, good Lord. If I was a councilman and I'm sitting there and somebody came in there and they were going to, that's a proposal, I would look at them like, you're the dumbest person I've ever met. Have they started pulling Lake Lanier? I know the whole Savannah River chain is down about 5 feet already. Yeah, Messick, we talked about that earlier. Lake Lanier is down. I don't know exactly how it is, but I drove across it and it is down a good bit. Growing up arguing with my older sister, I can't stand being right. I try to be right. Listen, I'm married. When did you get married, Tyler? You're wrong on everything. You know what I'm saying? You're never right. You're always wrong. Even when you are right, you're going to say, I'm sorry for a lot of things. That's my best marriage advice, guys. Learn to say, I'm sorry, even if you don't mean it. It gets you out of a lot. It can really, I'm sorry, babe. That right there will end. And I think sometimes, like, they think they're coming at you, like they got you and all that. And you go, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, what then? They just keep on. Oh, I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And boom, it's done with. Now, Stephen been up in Illinois, says, really cold down there. Ha, ha, ha. Come to Illinois or north to see a fish kill due to cold. And that's what I'm saying. You and Kendra and all that see stuff that we don't ever see down here. And I know the first time I hunted in Illinois, the guys told me that it's a different kind of cold up there. And I'm like, cold is cold, right? No, it's different. It's different. And a calm day up there is what, 15, 20 mile an hour winds? Like it's windy every time I go to Illinois. Because I was like, deer don't move in Georgia when it's this windy. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's a regular day. So you're right. But I can't remember. And I'm sure there's people smarter than me that can tell you when the last big shad kill was around here. I don't remember us even talking about it. Nobody there to close the gates with the government shutdown. Hey, listen, it could be. Doug said, here's some marriage advice. Just wake up in the morning, say, I'm sorry, even if you don't know what for. Marriage tip 101. You'll stay married a long, long time if you learn the words, I'm sorry, right? It's just the way it is. Now, again, tonight at 8, I want you guys to come back tonight because it's going to be pretty cool. Again, it'll be the first one we've done remote, and it'll take us some getting used to. And Danny's going to be pressing the buttons and all that. But we got Tucker Smith coming on. He's one of the hottest, if not the hottest young angler out there right now. Just won the Ultimate Angler. Okay, Rig of the Year. Kid's a hammer, right? One of these you can't deny. You can't deny the success. So it's going to be very interesting. I believe he is up in. I think Clint said he's fishing Champlain right now. Like today, he's fishing up there, pre-fishing or doing something up there. But he's going to join us tonight via remote. And so you guys, you know how it works. You guys can bring your questions for him and your comments. And if you want to, ask anything, we'll ask him. We'll try to squeeze that juice out of him. Tucker got the sucker. Yeah, I mean, listen, we'll try to squeeze him. It'd be pretty cool. And I reached out to Fighter and the other guys that I've been talking to, Cook and all them. And so we're getting ready to go on a little run here where we're going to try to get all the pros on that we can get while they've got time. I got to catch some of them before they go deer hunting. You guys remember when Gussie was on a few years ago? Like I had to catch him in that 1 week because he was going to be in the woods for basically a month. And so you got to catch some of these guys in that time. But it's also an easier time when, look, their mind's a little more relaxed. Okay, Kendra, that's awesome. I hope you'll be here. And I will do it. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a better experience if you can watch it on YouTube. Because if you watch it right here on TikTok, all you're going to get is the what you hear from them and my ugly mug. So if you're on TikTok, go to FNGO on YouTube tonight at 8 and watch it. Now, that's 8 Eastern time. I don't know where some of you guys live. That's 8 Eastern time. Just remember me when you get too famous for the common man. Bull Coleman. That ain't happening, buddy. That will never happen. That will never, ever, ever happen. What's up, Atlanta Safe House? How you doing, man? But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be pretty cool to get into the mines. And of course, we'll still have we'll get a meal back on and all that, but we'll never not talk about the local bite for sure. But we are at the point too, where we've got to start learning and branching out all this stuff, right? I'm glad you are busy. That's a good thing. And again, guys, I told you earlier in the program about Atlanta Safe House has got the new location over there off McFarland Road, right by the tackle warehouse. So you need to go check them out. Got all kinds of gun safes, whatever you want, they got it. But no, Coleman, I'm not, listen, that ain't going to change. But we got to get out there and learn. Okay, guys, we talk about Lake Lanier every day, right? And we know that's the engine that runs the ship around here. But as you guys need the knowledge and need to know what's going on, especially like I think it's really cool. Brian's watching from California because the lakes, there's a lot of lakes that fish similar here, and you get to know the personalities and all that. But again, a lot of pre-recorded stuff's getting ready to happen too. And we're going to start something called the John Boat Chronicles. You guys can figure out what the John Boat Chronicles mean. I'm just going to take a John boat. We're going to go start fishing places everywhere with a John boat. We're going to record it and just see what guy can do out of a John boat or kayak. And we'll have some big lake stuff with that. So a lot of things coming down the road that I've talked to a lot of people about, and we're getting ready to kick off. Also, too, and this is open for you guys right now. I'll go ahead and put it out there. When we first started Fish North Georgia back in the day, we had a little playlist called The Guide. And what it was is people like you that were fishing, they had social media or a company that they wanted to promote and all that. They would go fishing. They'd pick up their phone and they'd give us a 2 to 5 minute video on, hey guys, I'm Danny Pruitt. I was fishing Lake Lanier today, and this is what I caught them on. Water temp was 58. I was throwing a rock crawler on points, whatever, rocky points, and I caught a pretty good amount of fish. I didn't do very well on this. So that's kind of my report from Lake Lanier. And guys, hey, by the way, check out my socials at fngo.com. Give me a follow, all that. So we let them guys do that. But it was where local guys were giving free fishing reports to the viewers. We're going to bring that back. And so if you're interested in being on the guide, you got something you want to push or promote, and you're interested in taking part of that, just hit me up. because that is a playlist that is coming back. Uh, I don't know about his no info rule starts. Well, I have all that listed. I'll have all. We'll figure all that out. So I have no idea. If you ever want to go out on the new express, just hit me up, Tyler. Let's do it. Like I said, it's all about getting out there because this is where I'm going to still be able to meet you guys since the store is not going to be anymore, and we're doing all this. Yeah, I got to stay out there with you guys. But if you're interested in doing that, we had about 7 or 8 guys. I'd love to get a couple on every lake, even the electric only ones, even the rivers. And when you get this, so it's kind of like I know a lot of people pay for information these days, right? And that's great. It's a good thing if that's what you want to do. Um, but we want to give you a spot where guys like you, like me, are just, hey, we went fishing. This is what worked for me. This is what didn't work for me. And it basically is keeping this part of the family together. And we're all trying to help each other, which is all what we do here anyway. We just want you guys to catch more fish, have a laugh every once in a while, and just have a place to go hang out. And right now, we'll work on the hanging out stuff. Kendra says, I plan on chronicling my first year as a boater on the BFLs, and you should. You should do that, and we'll follow you. And you know what, Kendra? You can listen. I don't mind putting a guide fishing report from Michigan on the thing either. It's just kind of keeping everybody together. The store's inventory, he will be having a liquidation sale on that. There will be a liquidation sale on that. And I guess I need to put a post out on the Fish North Georgia because there's a couple of guys that didn't even know what was going on. So I'll do that today. But there's a lot of stuff that's going to be in a liquidation sale, and I'll get, of course, once that is set up, I'll give you guys the heads up on that for sure and help you out. But I want you guys seriously, a lot of you guys up there, Messick, Coleman, all you guys that fish a lot, Tyler. It's a really cool thing, especially to push your socials and stuff. So I'd love for you guys to hit me up and be able to do that. But we're just going to help each other. So that's coming back. There's a lot of stuff down there. I mean, I've been sitting here just figuring stuff. 8 Ball in the corner. Patricia wants to dadgum have a pool tournament. I guess we might have to have a Fish North Georgia pool tournament somewhere. That might be a cool thing. Also, too, about once a month, and I don't know if we're going to start it in November or something, but we're going to have like get-togethers. And so we might be, we might do down towards Kennesaw, Allatoona 1 month, and we might be back up here Lake Lanier the next month, just to kind of do that. We'd love to provide reports for the Savannah River chain of South Carolina lakes. Coleman, that's what I need. I'll send you more. I'll text you how we want to do it. I'm not going to forget that vintage metal, dude. That's some of the stuff that is coming with me. But anyway, guys, all right, listen. Had a lot of fun right now. Got to get back to work. Been going, you guys got to get back to work. I'm going to end up getting some of you guys fired because you hang out with me all the time. Make sure, too, look, guys, if you ain't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe. It helps me out. Give us a thumbs up. Same thing over there. Gone fishing with Ed later, buddy. Come back tonight at 8, but come on YouTube. I'll still have this up, but come on YouTube. Every time you talk about various additions to the channel, your excitement is obvious. Wish you great success going forward. Dude, Jerry, appreciate that. But listen, it's just my way to hang out with you guys. So am I excited? 100% I'm excited. Listen, there is a lot out there to do, but at the same time, it's 100% you guys, right? Because I want you guys to feel welcomed in everything we do, wherever we go, whatever we talk about. That's the biggest thing with me, is keeping this little community, this little family that we're building, and keep it growing. Hey, we're just going to have to add, brothers and sisters from other states. That's what we want to do. Make it fun for everybody. Tyler says I could do Allatoona and Lanier for sure. 100%. All you guys, talk to me. John G, I could give you a good report on the Oconee River in Milledgeville. See, again, this is how it would work, John. I'll show you how you can send me a video, and then you got to shout out. I don't want your video just for a report. I want you to shout out something that will help you too. I know you got a new YouTube channel and all that. Hey guys, follow me, John G, on this. Appreciate it. We'll work it all out together. Just one of 100 things I got going on. But anyway, you guys listen. Y'all have a great rest of your day for sure. Come back tonight at 8, and just we'll see how we're going to make this thing work tonight, right? And it'll be fun. It'll be fun. So I'm going to get rid of the TikTok people first. You guys be good. We will see you later. I'm trying to press this. There we go. Without I'm knocking that up. And you guys over here, though, on YouTube, seriously, I'll be in touch with you on how you guys can help. And we'll go from there. Y'all have a great rest of your day. We will see you tonight at 8 with Tucker Smith. Out of here.